So thunder and wind, faith whispers sound distorted through static. Voice oval countdown, engage systems failing, brace for impact. Subtle glitch effects. Subtle glitch effects. Slow, ominous pads. Occasional metallic clangs. Tension builds with escalating snare rolls and rising pitch risers. Distorting signal teeth into the impending drop. Background sounds of alarms and warning beats layer in. Massive trap with crushing bass and heavy synths. Aggressive growling bass with layered distortion. Forward punchy drums with trapid dubstep influence. Rise punching drums with trapid dubstep influence. Screeching leads that cut through the mix like alarms. Key moment at 1:15, the bass briefly cuts to a minimal sub-hit before crashing back full force. Calm, eerie pads with reverse vocal snippets. Distant sounds of chaos echo like a post-apocalyptic wasteland. Heavier and darker than before. Wobbles modulated for maximum aggression. Drums gain more complex syncopation and metallic hits. New layers of distorted synth noise swell throughout. A glitch effect simulating a system crash builds tension towards the outro. Sound slowly degrade into static and low rumbling. The voiceover returns.
System failure complete, end of signal. Final subhit fades into silence.
The sound of a massive industrial chamber preparing for ignition. Metal clays, fuel hiss, heat distortion effects. Combustion protocol initiated. Chamber pressure at 87%. Time to concrete the steam vents. This is him flickering like a pilot light. Polyphons layered with reverb simulate tension and steel. Tension rises like thermal pressure. A siren grows more distorted. Their rolls increase in speed with a pulsing flame filter applied. Background samples include heatwave vortices and crackling embers. Countdown begins. Ignition in 5, 4, 3. Then all sound drops out to silence for one breath. Boom! The combustion hits like a tank of bass exploding. Massive flame, your baseline is thick, overly modulated to growl. Caution is dry and punchy, kick sounds like a flamethrower blast. Drop rhythm is stub-based, almost industrial with long flames of bounce. Like noise laying, sweep across the mix like heat distortion. Signature element, every 8 bars, the baseline overheats, line overheats. Glitching and roaring loud over throat, cutting out materiality like a repeated engine. Multiple alarms and deep pulsing synth throbs like a backup generator. The vocal shop repeats like a malfunctioning AA. Combust, combust, combust. Dash on, slow flame. Well in reverse leading to the second drop returns hotter and dust. They're not still creating layered combustion sounds. Statue stabs at urgency. A new percussive texture flourishes, which bursts from mellow spark feedback. Baseline through filters like a flaming wind to the door. It's unpredictable, wild and heavy. At 2:15, a full burnout sweeps up the energy upward, followed by a low detonation to close the drop. Rhythm slows, you hear heat dissipation, dripping molten sounds, vents releasing pressure. A single mechanical voice echoes. Combustion complete, system offline. Final sound, raise pulsivate to a single spark. Silence. 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 Pulse like warning sirens. Like bullets. Reverb heavy mechanical clunks. Warning containment failure. Structural collapse imminent. You hear distant machinery creaking, then silence, a pulse begins. Crack for exclamation. Metallic risers layered with crumbling textures. Arrow speed up like reinforced bolts snapping. Filters sub-growl creeping up from below. Countdown the core integrity. 3%. Final 30. Breaker engaged. Full-on rhythm style stuff. Heavy distorted syncopated bass hits. Taking stand locked in like a jackhammer. Bass growls modulate slowly mimicking metal fatigue under pressure. Bass rhythm shift every 8 bars to simulate collapse. Signature effects. Plate reverb crashes. Distant blast echoes random metal stress crease between hits. If you can hits. Morning containment. Slow pause filters silence ambient echoes of falling debris. Vocal stereo loop, core breaker, core breaker, core breaker. Great snare roll ramps tension to red line. Even heavier bass line now layered with reverb tail aftershocks. It alternates every 4 bars with added sub-thud impacts. Lead sound changes to a grinding mechanical scream, pitch bent upward. Crack it down. And 2 sudden pause and a one-shot shockwave effects hits hard and resumes drop. Drum crack 4. Nails. Metallic rendation. The villain bass ground dissolves into static machinery shuts down with double a pitch pound down. Core integrity. Zero collapse. Total. Last sound low end sub rumble fading like an underground quake. Final bass ground dissolves in static. Machinery shuts down with double pitch power down. Core integrity. Zero collapse. Total. Last sound low end sub rumble fading like an underground quake. Cold flittering sim steel fried radio hiss. Static glitches layered over broken time signatures. Robotic voice system lag at 0 milliseconds. As if your drone slowly shift pitch. Twitchy laser panes bounce left right in stereo. Kick drum interest in halftime undercut with tape warble. The rising speed begins, but it keeps stuttering like it's caught in a loop. Hi-hat scale and triplets rising in pitch. Sound design includes big crush risers, verse toms climbing like corrupted beta. What? Zeros, zero, zero. System overloaded known. 3, 2, 1. Forgotten master video file shuttering mid-playback. Signature elements mix and sounds like a chainsaw made of Wi-Fi errors. Kicks compressed, they click like corrupted audio buffers. Edited rhythm pattern, track 1 step late. Even if that line in reality feel ghost notes drop between beats like skip frames. Visualize flicking down, the drop isn't clean. It's aggressive, cushy and fragmented. Through verb heavy breakdown paths slow. Into a slow. source, you have exited the sound line, initializing velocity. A single snare taps, doubles, triples, forming a king-bong pattern. Harder, more broken, bassline becomes pitch bent and key shifted live like the software is melting. Glitches stretch across the mix like tape tearing. Leads us after 3 distortion layers, including a custom shattered resonance effects chain. This part is designed to disorient and hypnotize. You're no longer dancing, you're decompiling. Almost a king drum plays on that final vocal. Timeline fragment terminated. You were never here. Then a hard abrupt frame pop. A single glitch hit cuts everything. Full drop. Enter the video file, shattering mid playback signature elements. Sing up at an instant, sounds like a chainsaw made of Wi-Fi errors. Kicks are comprised, they click like corrupted audio buffers. Syncopated rhythm pattern, knife on step late, giving it bad light reality feel. Ghost notes drop in between beats, sketch frames, split your lines, residualize. Your position with the track, surely break, liquid, and bound and drop, supreme, different words of cleaning fragment. Preserve and want that swell of digital illusion, simulate silence, silver for the heart, first slice, you had access to the text in the timeline. Initializes the life, tenacity, prevent the cover with the breakdown, that's falling, middle process, the bus, that's you have access to the timeline. Initializing velocity, initializing velocity, I 0% doubts, building the kill shifted live like the software that's melting. Just trust the mix, variables are stacked through three distortion layers, including a custom shattered resonance effects chain. This part is designed to disorient and hypnotize. You're no longer dancing, you're decompiling. Decompiling drone plays under the final vocal. Timeline fragment terminated. You were never here. Then a hard abrupt frame pop. A single glitch hit cuts everything. Then end. Back starting slow, burning fuse crackle. Void fills, beacon rolling, rising with pitch intensity. Outer load. Hi-hats, built into a machine gun rhythm. Snare pattern mimics countdown clips. Bass ground creeps in layer with glitchy risers. Clappers on detonation and breach. Drop silences and click. Massive detonation kick, snare hit with explosive layering. Bass is modulated like a shockwave ripple, gritty and mechanical. Leads hit, buzzing saws, glitch, vibe mimic triggered, explosives, vocal chop. Signatures every 4 bars like the fuses relighting and reigniting. Reloading chamber and fit filters down. Distant crowd, fox and glitch, static voice sample calmly. Breathing charge, stand by. The reverse riser sucks all sound into silence. Turtle trigger mode. Faster bass rhythm. Glitch fills, imitate, detonator misfires. New layer, acid style, synth on copy show. Adds urgency, percussion fills, sound like time explosives clicking on beat. At 212, while some pauses, then a massive one-shot boom brings it back even harder, this time with vocal. That's the drop line. Drugs fade, but sub-rumbles linger. Mechanical voice. Detonation confirmed, drop line disengage. Fuse effects fizz out, ending with a single bass revert tail that slowly fades like smoke into silence. Gate into silence. 808 layering, multi-octave sub-bass, split range, distortion, click, gradient risers. Clear the zone, detonation in frame 2. Crunch for granular chop-ups, aggressive crowd chants. Kick his snare with explosive layering. Bassy, explosive floating gold lead synth. Buzzing sauce glitch, rock mimic triggered, explosive vocal chop. bass rhythm. Rolling stems arise like turbines spinning up their stack across the stereo field, a deep hum building like a generator charging. Commence ignition sequence, commence ignition sequence. Engine heat at 47%. Laser stabs and industrial clicks everywhere, they're very minimal like being inside the launch bay. Drum begins, slow stopping with heavy reverb. Hi-hats start ticking like a mechanical timer. A mid-run or mid-deal line climbs upward. Every 4 bars adding distortion. It begins sophomore. Final seconds pitch up into an intense riser. Event glitches just before climax. Ignition pulse dead air. Supercharged side chain is like an electric whip. Reach 30 FM synths, that's like twin jet engines at max thrust. Kicks were tried and boundary with surgical precision shot rhythm. Off grid swing with clicks, you drop out some pitch size every 4 bars. It's your moment. At 103, all instruments cut, but a rising 808 tone, a reverse snare, then boom, a reload style second blast. Everything melts in the low drones and oscillating static. A robotic voice whisperers feel spec, thermal core unstable. We're doing this no impact, bending out of tune, simulating overheated machinery selling. Kicks like knuckles, growl, layered waveforms. Leads are chopped up like flamethrowers, firing in staccato bursts. Delay effects placed aggressively on every voice there to create looping drop echoes. This section feels like the engine blew open and the drop keeps going with raw energy bleed. Filtered down kick and some beast swimming while pitchy stutters fade. A final shutdown, tone blaze, a modulated sine wave descending until silence. Final voice line. Ignition complete. Mission classified. Shake to snap like an electric whip. Leave 30 FM synth, this electric jet engine edges at max thrust. Kill giant down to a surgical precision. Drop rhythm, off-grid swing with clicks. You drop outs and pitch dives every 4 bars. Signature moment at 103, all instruments cut, but a rising 808 tone. A reverse snare, the bone, a reload style second blow, a reload style second blast. Everything melts to the low drone, cut off surgical static. Everything melts into low drones and oscillating static. Full rhythm, off-grid swing with click. He dropped out to pitch dives every 4 bars. Signature moment, all instruments cut, but a rising 808 tone. A reverse snare, that boom, a reload style second blast. Everything melts into low drones and oscillating static. A robotic voice whispers, fuel spent, thermal core unstable. Distorted paths, bending in and out of tune, simulating overheated machinery failing. Glitch here, dirtier than to run every 4 step to create overheated machinery failing. Delay effects, click and blast. Everything melts into low drones and oscillating static. A robotic voice whispers, fuel spent, thermal core unstable. Distorted paths, bend in and out of tune, simulating overheated machinery failing. Delay effects, click on clear glitchery failing. To create the trees, to share dirtier. Baseline now includes growl waveforms. Leads are chopped up like flamethrowers firing in staccato bursts. Delay effects placed aggressively on every 4 snare to create looping drop echoes. This section feels like the engine blew open and the drop keeps going with raw energy bleed. Filter down, kick and sub bass remain while glitchy stutters fade. A final shutdown, tone glaze. A modulated sine wave descending and until silence. Final voice line, every 4 snare incomplete. Mission classified. Mission classified. Mission classified. One unauthorized signal detected. Broadcast contains hostile wavelengths. Compression threshold breached. Build up system overload. Unstable base integrity collapsing. Frequency spike in 3, 2, 1. Signal detected. Hostile in the middle. Raftil, wave, another corrupt signal detected. Another debuted, crash the floor. a fracture kick. Rattle your mind with a static hit. Broadcast, rupture, signal lost. Mid-break, recalibrate the pulse. Reacquiring hostile frequency. Pulse, lock, stabilize. Bandwidth combat. No firewall, no escape. Base fracture signal engaged. Hostile wave, nothing. Boss, wave nothing. Boss, ill, wave nothing. Unauthorized transmission now global. Prepare for total frequency collapse. Then cut to silence. Signal loss. Rev, nothing. Wave, nothing. Take off. Wait. Ready. Say spike in 3, 2, 1. Interrupts is spike in 3, 2, 1, 1. Corrupt signal detected. Up. Crash the floor with a fracture kick. Rattle your mind with a static hit. Broadcast, rupture, signal lost. Mid-break, recalibrate the pulse. Reacquiring hostile frequency. Pulse, lock, stabilized. This bandwidth combat. No firewall, no escape. Base fracture signal engaged. Hostile wave, nothing. Hostile. Unauthorized transmission now global. Prepare for total frequency collapse. Collapse, 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 collapse. Then cut to silence. Signal lost. Wave nothing. Lost. Oh, wave nothing. Thus stable. Decay. Complete. Unauthorized transmission now global. Prepare for total frequency collapse. Say collapse. Say collapse. Say collapse. Signal lost. Signal lost. Thus stable. Lost. Low rep 36. Malfunctioning power core. Distorted voice whisper. Visualizing override. Impact imminent. Crunchy textures rise. A mechanical clicks echo like an automated weapon system booting. Sound effect. Bullet frog links. Distant explosion tail. Tension builds with the rising sirens into the drums begin. A cult command trap beat with industrial snares. A massive riser climbs with cybernetic vocal chops glitching in and out. You are not ready. System breach. X-legs and hard. Brutal mechanical lid growls like a jet turbine eating asphalt. Some bass kicks blast every ball like a hydraulic piston slamming concrete. Crete. A detuned metallic sand with the reverse tail that slaps like a railgun recoil. Breaks at halftime, deep echoing bass give the illusion of a calm. Comes to low, my vocals say override, engage from every time it'll drop. Hi-hats returning triplets, the pressure is mounting again. Second drop brings you an heavy distortion with synths and a layer with low end feedback. Glitch artifacts and reverse impacts. The lightning ball had a dubstep mode. Let's fall away like the aftermath of an explosion. The lid dissolves in the big crush to rewind last line. Impact complete system reset. Track ends in a glitched out reverb tail. Elements fall away like the aftermath of an explosion. The lead dissolves into bit crushed debris. One last line. Impact complete. System reset. Track ends on a glitched out reverb tail. Tail. Slow, pulsing sounds mimic the heartbeat of a dying reactor. Hollow claims and high-pitched alarms echo in the background. Distorted radio voice crackles. Meltdown protocol initiated. Evacuate immediately. Sound has died. Metallic ambient with low pass filtering. Filters are rising subtly under the surface. Geiger counter style clicking woven into percussions. Tension swells with a gradient rising synth growl. Filter kit becomes sharper. Snare grows in layers sounding like hydraulic bursts. robotic voice repeats. Warning, core breach imminent. The riser cuts out for 1 second of silence. The bass slams in like an implosion. Slow percussion, main bass pretty mid-heavy distortion with Taylor slams, layers like fire trucks. Industrial style, trash can snares, piston kicks, suffocates. The players rumble like a decaying turbine. A glitchy pitch war bleeds, screeches like metal bending under heat's image of villain ones. Melt out alarm samples, been shift and melt into the next phrase. How it's since caught on fire. Low drone face everything down. Distant machinery, all phenomenal walks towards voices. Containment failed. Then silence and a rising hiss like steam release. A more chaotic, corrupted version of drop one. Bass now splits with broken rhythm and feedbacks. Unfollow bursts of the smoke and rhythm. The floor beneath the blast. A new melody appears with descending chromatics. This blend the mini smells of decay. Rapid fire fills and glitch break moments like systems shorting out. Key moment. At 2:10 the track detonates with an all-out sound wall, then suddenly collapses. Just reverb tails static and the sound of cooling metal. Final robotic whisper, meltdown complete, no survivors detected. Fade to low end silence. Fade to low end silence. Fade to low end. Rapid additions cascade like a digital waterfall. A chip-tuned vocal sample repeats. Let's go, let's go, let's go! High-pitched risers and sharp hats set an urgent pace. Sound design highlights, bright, pathetic leaf with pitch bends. Fast-paced hi-hats and clap rolls. A background layer of glitchy digital noises. Build-up intensifies with the speed and snare roll layers. Synth chords that rise in pitch. Four chops sliced in rhythm. Faster, harder, now! A white noise with crescendos, preparing for impact. The drop bursts in with an ultra-fast bass line driven by a punchy kick and 7-track snare. Super bright soul leads with fast vibrato. Layered, distorted sub-bass growls underpinning the melody. Syncopated bass rhythm with glitch stutters and rapid fire synth stabs. Signature moment, as you revive a short break where the tempo doubles to a hyperspeed synth solo before snapping back. Everything cuts down to start pads and reverse pads. A reverse pad, a reverse poke, a robotic voice that goes reloads, system surge, recalibrating. This moment gives a breath before the next barrage. Even more aggressive, layered with new vocal effects and sharper synth leads. Which trap has cascade faster. Bassline introduces rolling 808s and pitch slides. The energy ramps up with additional arpeggiators weaving complex patterns. At 205 the melody shifts into a minor key for a darker, more intense feel. Elements gradually strip away, synths descend in pitch while the bass fades out. Final vocal sample fades in and out. Keep running, keep fighting, for the track ends with a filtered synth sound that echoes into silence. Marching footsteps fade in over crackling radio static. Military voice sample echoes through interference. Command to all units, no fly zone enforced, drop authorization granted. Helicopter blades! High frequency drone hum, radar ping textures. Samples stack up like artillery charges, loading tension risers with machine words and bomb priming effects. Weapons. Moments. A pulsing sub-growl and it clocks an alarm. Massive war base impacts. It hits like bunker busters. Some players with LFO modulating distortion. Machine gun hi-hats and triplets. Breaching leads, mimic sirens and missile lock sounds. Remix sirens and missile lock sounds. Signature moment. At 105, a missile set rises and hits right as the base folds into a downward spiral wobble. Hostile contact confirmed. Link ambience with glitchy dumb static and broken HUD UI beats. Distorted radio voice. Zone compromised. Send reinforcements. A gritty synth pad simulates airlock pressure release. Second drop brings heavier armor. Double bass rhythm with sharp stop-start phrases. New laser cut lid synths. Full-coded rage and fire and well. Percut explosion. Encasing firing artillery charges loading. Tension risers with machine words and tension risers when we drop tone rumbles as the radio voice fades. Mission complete, zone silence. Track ends with a long low impact explosion. A final payload drop. Electronics operating sirens and missile lock sounds. Weapons. A pulsing sub-growl and a klaxon alarm. Massive war base impact. Kick hits like bunker busters. Sub-layers with LFO modulated distortion. Machine gun, hi-hats and triplets. MX. Drone pulses like heartbeat monitors inside drop suits. Intercom chatter digitized command voice. Squad online, shock troopers prepped drop window in 30 seconds. Sound design highlights. Plasma spirits. Warriors. Rising alarms blended with distortion. Massive vocals, tactical beats, gear lock on sounds create rhythmic tension. Metallic scrapes fade into hi-hat ticks. The drop bay is opening, sound tightens. Kick drums become more percussive, punching through radio static. Snare roll sequence builds like a Gatling gun charging. Tension riser is modulated to simulate air pressure. Compressing. Final countdown. 3, 2, 1, drop. Impact like a mesh suit just slammed through a city block. Thick distorted bassline with a war horn style lead synth. Punching militant drumline with trap style snares and tom fills. Low ends of pulses mimic shockwaves. It's literally feel like bombs. Armor clanks and mech stuff. Spec layers for added chaos. This section feels like war bass, not just a rhythm but an assault. All sound filters into mid-range static. Glitchy voice over. Thought complete area destabilized enemy response. Unknown. A signal of blooding synth cycles slowly undergrowing low and rumble. You can feel the reload coming. The drop goes heavier, darker, slower. Additions. Sub-bass extended downward at an octave. Snare now has metal impact layers like a slam riot shield. A new column response like mimics machine gun fire and shield dashes. Video interference glitches like fades in a stereo field. At 216 the track malfunctions. Full stop. Then immediately detonates back in with a drop echo. Same groove but twisted and then reversed. Kick fades into mechanical debris noise. Ambient textures return, smoke clearing the battlefield. A fading transmission speaks. Shot drop, success extraction, inbound, commence, exfil. Final sound, a heavy synth rumble descending into silence like a powered down war machine.